Okay. Yeah. Jennifer?
Just waiting for one more.
Yeah. Did you get some regrets?
I went through, I don't think so. I have a hard time seeing when I send in a series.
Right.
They upgraded my computer and there's some features on the upgrade. I think.
I will need to sign off by about 5:15, just so everybody's aware. I have another commitment that I need to get to.
Thanks,
Okay,
Jen.
Jen, got it.
Chris and Paul should be joining us and Mark for sure.
Yeah, Mark usually.
They accepted. I only have a couple unsure, so. Everybody enjoying the nice weather? Yes.
I just dropped Mary off at my daughter Jessica's and they were on their way to the beach. Yeah. No, I think that you can go through the old highway. Oh, did they?
Where they accident,
Oh, okay. Is it, yeah, I know. The description I heard it was between Searchmont Highway and 552, which is up past the country cricket or whatever, you know, the old highway.
no, I love to. That could be long.
Yeah, no, I know it was, I saw the same thing. So they were going to check before they
Which beach?
batch one, hopefully. We were there on Saturday, the Saturday before. And I swear the water was warmer than the summertime.
Really?
But even the weather now.
Yeah.
Really better, the Great Lakes are very unseasonably warm.
And Frank O'Connor said, he said, Mary, it never hit 24 once in August. Now it's been 24 for 5 days in a row. And he's really busy up there. Like it's great.
Brianna and Sean went yesterday, it was Arden's second birthday.
Oh.
She, they gave her an option, she chose beach.
Okay,
instead of beach.
yeah. And
They
hardly
all
anybody's
swam.
going, yeah.
I went on today.
And not vegetation, I want to see some.
We didn't get there until Labor Day. We went and rented a place from Frank and spent the night.
So we have another 8 minutes. Actually 9. according to the-
At 12 o'clock today, we said, oh,
Oh,
there was no wind. So we had to go over. I went up that far, shut the motor on, got my lunch out, drifted all the way down to my tax. And then the wind came up a little bit, but
beautiful. So much here.
Oh, there's Brennan.
We can see everyone in the screenshot except you, Virginia.
I'm here. Very strategic.
Only one more, or we probably okay with more?
No, we're fine. Brennan, Graham,
Oh,
Jen,
green, yeah,
and the two.
green, okay,
We are all set.
okay, let's go. All right. Welcome, everyone, to our late September meeting, actually our October meeting of the PrAC committee. I'm going to read the land acknowledgement. I acknowledge with respect that we are in the Robinson Huron Treaty Territory, that the land in which you are gathered is a traditional territory of the Anishinaabe known as Awating. Awating is the home of Garden River First Nation, Batchewana First Nation, the historic Sault Ste. Marie Métis Council. Item number 2 on our agenda is the adoption of the minutes. Everyone had a chance to, I certainly had to reread the minutes because I didn't remember what went on at that meeting. But any comments or corrections with the minutes? None noted. May I have a mover for the adoption of the minutes, please? Tracy? And a seconder? Jen? All in favor? Okay, number 3, declaration of pecuniary interest. Any to declare? None? All right, everyone has a copy of the agenda. Had a chance to look at it. May I have a mover for the adoption of the agenda, please? Graham? And a seconder? Jen? All in favor? Item number 5 on the agenda, business arising. Do we have any business?
We have just wanted to give an update on the Sort Solid thing.
Okay,
So we had the ceremony last Thursday. Everything went well, so I just wanted to send a congratulations to Jesse Jacomite and Mark Dimmer.
yeah, and I do have to give kudos, Virginia. I mean, it was not quite a full house there or whatever, but it was absolutely first class, very well done. All of the groups and individuals that were recognized that night had a really good time. Thank you for that.
Yeah, it was just the rest of the committee members, as you're aware, the format changed a little bit. So this was the first year that we had the combined city awards. So we'll continue with that format next year. The next call out will be in the spring next year during the month of April. So it'll be the same time frame, and then a fall award ceremony for the various awards that the city does distribute.
Any questions at all? Item 5.2, Parks and Recreation Master Plan Update.
So I wanted to provide a bit of an update to all the committee members, just with where we are. We're been in the consultation phase, starting in September, and we're just starting to wrap up one of the last segments with the organizational surveys. The first component that was rolled out was a public survey, and that was done through the city website, and we utilized a tool called Public Input for the survey. We also hosted 3 open houses through early September, so September 11th, 12th, and 13th. They were hosted at the Northern Community Center, at the GFL Memorial Gardens, and then as well at John Rhodes Community Center, and the turnout was great. So we just finished compiling all of that information, sent that over to the consultants so they could start analyzing that portion of the data. And we've just started the community consultation as far as all of our organizations. So those surveys have been sent out. PrAC members have received a survey. So if you want to take a moment to share all of your thoughts, send those back to us. And we're going to be compiling them into one document to send to the consultants from the Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee. And those went out to organizations like the Accessibility Advisory Committee, as well as the Environmental Committee, and all of our major organizations would have received surveys to complete. Brent, do you have anything else that you want to add with the consultation phase? Oh, the other piece actually that's underway is they are doing a random sampling of households through a phone survey. So was it 400 to 500 households that they're hoping to get that random sample from as well.
And just to add to that, they don't stop until they actually get the required number of responses back. So we'll have good feedback on that telephone survey as well. And as Virginia said, we had great turnout for the 3 in-person sessions. I know Jen was at, I think, a few of them there for sure. So that's good to see. And also with respect to the user group. So what we do is we had a mass email list of all the users of our fields and our arena space that went out to the main contacts that we have as a repository to make sure they had their feedback along with the committees that we deal with on an ongoing basis.
And just friends, in addition to friends, it wasn't just the organizations that are that utilize and book the fields. It was also sent to organizations like basketball and volleyball. So those community organizations received an opportunity to provide feedback as well. So they may not be a user that books a specific facility, but they're still an important recreational group within our community to get feedback from.
Well, thank you for that, Virginia. Thanks, Brent. Moving on to item 5.3, the parks projects.
You want me to start?
Yes, please,
Sorry.
Brent.
I know Virginia probably has lots to say. I have a few here just in particular. One is the West End splash pad being done at Manzo Park right now. It's well underway. So if you have a chance to go by there, I encourage you to take a look. All the groundworks is complete. They've poured the concrete pads now for the actual structure. They're now doing backfill and grading around the splash pad. So we're in fairly good shape. We're pleasantly surprised or pleased, I guess we should say, the progress right now, because we want to make sure that facility was ready to go in the spring when we can turn it on. So at this point, we're in good shape with that to be able to happen and align with when we open up the Bellevue Park splash pad. So that project's going to be an exciting addition for the west end of the community. Also, with respect to, I mentioned this maybe a couple meetings ago, but I'll reiterate the Boardwalk Promenade project. A lot of positive feedback from users. A lot of people that remember the old walkway were happy to see it return, and we're seeing at lunchtime people use the new walkway along the marina here, but the Bondar Marina and beside Montana. So nice to see people using that new piece of equipment for the addition for the walkway there. The Twin Pad Arena project, we're almost there. The last piece the key to the puzzle there was the north part of the parking lot. We had to lift up the sidewalk and fix the north entrance. That has now since been completed. So we're just wrapping up that project, and it's 99.9% finished now. And the users of that facility are doing are complimentary of the space. We had the grand name revealing a couple of weeks ago. That was well attended with a community barbecue and a free skate from Northern Credit Union that sponsored that. So that was nice to see. And we've also had, it kind of touches on the Plaza project, but we had the Sioux Market grand opening here recently, well attended. There was between 3,500 and 4,000 people from a loose count that was done that day. So it was well received. During that opening, it also opened up the lower room or the lower area of the plaza. And since that time, we've had one of the retail units opened up. Pinokian Farms has made a return to Sault Ste. Marie. So they have one of the spaces there. And we're going to be having some other vendors open there in the very near future. So that'll be tied in with the opening events that are happening with the plaza, which Virginia may speak to as well.
Thank you, Brent. Any questions or comments? I'd like to add that I didn't get to the plaza opening the first day, or the farmers market opening the first day. I went last Saturday, and it's absolutely great to walk into, and the diversity that's there. It's really well received.
A couple other updates that Brent didn't touch on. Point to Shane Park, we're in the process now. The shade structure to replace the structure that had to be removed previously. is actually, they're in the process of starting to get the footings in place. So hopefully that'll be going up this fall and that'll be ready for next year, which we're really excited about. As well, Rosedale Park, the equipment did arrive, so our parks crews are hoping to get to finishing the install of the zip line and the other accessible components this fall as well, so.
Okay, that's great. Any other comments or questions?
I do have one, sorry, since we're speaking about parks and parks. In previous meetings, we've talked about the community parks and parks that were needed for some of the slides. Do you know, those parks came in and did they get installed?
I think some got installed. They were having trouble sourcing replacement parts due to the age of the equipment. They were trying to investigate alternatives, but I think there's definitely challenges with some of the components. I know that, and Brian, correct me, did Parks, I believe, has put in a request for additional funding for maintenance as well. Just because with the age of the equipment, maintenance costs are escalating. And it's getting difficult to attain some of those components. We also did put in an increase for the next operating budget to hopefully start to rejuvenate the parks. So that's also gone forward.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions? Item number 6. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, Dean, I was wondering if I could ask a question. I'm going to jump
Go ahead,
back. I'm at home today and I was had to run to a quieter place before I could ask the question. Just on the master plan, Virginia, you mentioned you'd sent off sort of what you heard to the consultant for the public, and now you're at the organizational feedback. So what's the grander timelines for the consultants coming back with a draft, or what they generally when do you expect to see that?
The summaries that we're receiving from the organizations are supposed to close this week on October 6th. So hopefully we've received a good amount of those responses back. We did extend one of the deadlines earlier in the year because we didn't think that we got as many responses as we wanted to see. So hopefully, we may have to look at pushing some of the organizations to get those submitted on time. Brent, I think they're hoping to start preparing a draft for late November. Is that with the summary of the consultation?
That's my understanding, Virginia, with the goal to bring something together at council in the new year for a new Parks and Recreation master plan and a parkland dedication bylaw. So that's kind of where we're at. So we're on the path of the new year for the full Parks and Recreation master plan to be presented, but the consultation piece will all be gathered in November, December.
Okay. All right. Moving on to our item number 6 on our agenda, subcommittee task force updates. I can mention that STAC has not really had a meeting since early in the new year. There's always talk about them getting together, or we're talking about trying to get together, and it hasn't happened, but we're fairly positive that something will happen before this year's end. And do we have any other subcommittees?
Not at the time.
Okay, item number 7, new business. Any to?
Yeah.
Okay,
So I can give a little bit of background. We received, and I think this might be the first one in a while. So for some of the new committee members, we have a financial assistance program where we can help support athletes that are traveling to competitions. They have to have a 10 qualifier in order to go, so it can't just be an open invitation competition. So our local curling team qualified to represent Northern Ontario in the Canadian Championships, and they submitted an application for PRAC's consideration.
okay, everyone has taken a look at that. It's Matthew Hunt is the skip for Team Northern Ontario, and the event is in Winnipeg in November. Any questions? Okay.
I was just curious if there's a limit in the amount. I know, did they ask for I think they asked for $400. Am I right?
The policy sets out the funding amounts, so depending if it's an individual, it's a certain amount, a team of up to 5 is 400, if you have like 5 to 7, so it scales up to a maximum of $1,000 if a large team is traveling.
Okay, so kind of like registration fees as
Yeah.
opposed to travel and, okay, just curious.
Yeah, so it lays out what amounts they could qualify for based on the type of team and the number of participants in the policy.
Okay. I would ask for a mover for the application for financial assistance, please. Jen, and a seconder. Brianna, thank you. And all in favor? Okay, item number 8. Do we have any correspondence?
Just the recycling regulations, their newsletter.
Oh, right, yes, everyone received the Sioux Cycling Club newsletter. I just thought they're fairly active, their newsletter publisher does a great job. And that was as I say, quite informative. I will keep sending those as I receive them. I know that Paul McDonald is a cycling club member, but basically it allows you folks to see what the club is doing. They're in the midst right now of doing what they call the KSS mountain bike program. KSS stands for Kids Shredding Single Track. And it's mountain bike lessons for children between 10 and 14. And they're doing their fall session now. And they have 70 kids out at each of their evenings. It's incredible. Yeah, it's very, very well received. And that's kind of maxed out. They can't accept anymore because they don't have qualified leaders and things like that. The big challenge is this time of year is the darkness, because they can get started at 6 o'clock or 6:30, but they only have an hour or so. Anyway, they've been doing a great job, and they were one of the agencies or clubs that was recognized on last Thursday. Okay, item number 9, our next meeting, December 5th.
Wow, so unless there's business that comes
Right.
up that we need to address.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, it won't be like this on December 5th, folks.
Yes, if everybody can come in and usually have treats.
Okay. Item number 10, adjournment. May I have a mover, please? Tracy, and the seconder. Brenna, thank you. All in favor? Thanks, folks.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great
Good night.
night.
Good night.
Enjoy the sun.